Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and welcome to week 3 of the Shuckle Premier League. This is a VGC draft league that I joined featuring 20 prominent content creators across singles as well as VGC, and this week we're up against Moxieboosted. Moxie is one of the most well-known VGC content creators in the space and is also a competitor, having made day 2 at multiple major tournaments before and qualifying for the 2024 World Championships last year. I'm really excited for this one in particular, mainly because Moxie's signature Pokemon is Wo-Chien, but I was the one that actually ended up drafting Wo-Chien in this league, and so I made it a goal, no matter what the matchup looks like, I want to bring Wo-Chien into the matchup and see what I can come up with. And so that's one thing that I've also been trying to work on a little bit more, which is the team building element of draft. I think for the first 2 weeks, I went with kind of more basic compositions, and it was solid for sure, but we started off the league 1-1 with a loss against Joey in week 1 and a win against Kyle in week 2, and so there's only 8 weeks of the regular season. Each week really matters a lot, and so I'm eager to work a little bit more on my team building abilities in draft specifically this week, and also figure out how we can make Wo-Chien work. And so as always, if you want to just skip to the battles, check out the timestamp down below, but as always, I will do a quick breakdown of the team and talk about the process as to how I came up with the team for this week. So thank you so much as always for joining me. It has been really fun to rejoin a draft league and make these videos for all of you, so I hope you're enjoying them. I hope you're having fun watching them, and it means a lot to have you all here. So let's get started with this week. Coming into this week, we have 1 win and 1 loss, which puts us at the top of the 1-1 teams. Now, as a reminder, there are only 8 weeks in the regular season, and the top 12 teams make the playoffs. The top 4 teams get around 1 bye in the playoffs, which of course is really nice. For me, I don't want to focus too much on my standings, where I am, whether or not I'll make the playoffs. Obviously, my goal would be to, make the playoffs and ideally do as well as I can. What's more important to me, though, is to focus on each individual opponent and round ahead of me rather than thinking about the bigger picture. There are only 8 weeks, right? And so I think 4 wins actually gets you a spot in the playoffs, which is really, really nice. And so I want to just, keep focusing on the games ahead of me, do my best in terms of preparation and play, and also do my best to learn. I think one of the things that's been really interesting to see in this league is that a lot of the players who have 2 wins so far and are undefeated are players that are actually not coming from a VGC background and are coming more from either a singles or a draft league background. At the end of the day, while this is a VGC league, draft is just a completely different ball game, and team building and preparation can really go such a long way. And so I definitely have been inspired by so many of the top players in this league so far after the first 2 weeks. Like playing against Joey in particular, seeing the way like he had put his team together was really, really inspiring. And so, yeah, one of my goals, of course, in this league is to just keep learning and improving as each week goes on and just trying to be the best version I can be in this league. But yeah, this is where we are going into this week. So let's talk a little bit about the team that I'm going to be bringing against Moxie this week, as well as the matchup and what I think about it. First of all, I think Moxie has some really scary combinations and threats that I need to respect. Abomasnow plus Iron Bundle is the number 1 combination in my opinion that I should be prepared for, but he's also got things like Iron Bundle plus King Gambit, for example. I think King Gambit with Assurance here can be really scary, and I think Fast King Gambit actually makes sense here because there are a lot of Pokemon on my team that are in kind of the, base 50 to 80 speed range, and so with King Gambit being fast and Icy Wind support from Iron Bundle, I think that's one way that he could potentially approach this matchup. I have to respect things like Komuo setting up on me, of course, as well, and Moxie is also shown to go with like hyper offense with Alolan Raichu plus Iron Bundle and electric terrain. So there's a lot of different things he can do here. And he also has a Pecharunt, which I just have literally 0 experience fighting against. I actually don't think it's the scariest Pokemon this week because by being Poison and Ghost, you're just weak to a lot of my common typings like Cresselia as well as Spectrier. But I basically don't want to over-index on any combinations other than really respecting Bundle and Abomasnow. Like, I think it's just so objectively strong that I need to be prepared for it. If he doesn't bring it, that's totally fine. And my goal is to bring a cohesive team that can cover for everything, but especially what I think are the main combos on his team, which are going to be Bundle Abomasnow, Bundle plus Gambit, and then potential setup-oriented strategies around the Komuo. So coming into this week, I actually first thought about bringing Torracat, but then I did some damage calcs, and I was like, Iron Bundle Hydro Pump just still demolishes Eviolite Torracat. Even if you're like max HP, max special defense, you survive with like a sliver of HP. And so I was like, you know what? I don't know if I actually want to bring Torracat as a result. So I kind of eliminated that. Initially, I was like, I don't want to bring Tauros or the Torracat because, of course, he's going to have Defiant on King Gambit likely. But then I was like, you know what? I can just kind of use Tauros and have a Mirror Herb and just copy the Defiant boost, get to +2, and then Tauros is actually pretty good into King Gambit, right? Like your Dark and your Steel type attacks actually are not very threatening, and so I think the Tauros actually makes a lot of sense here because it also helps slow down the damage output from Arcanine and Palafin, and it can close combat into the Abomasnow and Iron Bundle as well. So yeah, I think at first I was like, I don't want either Intimidator, but then I was like, who else do I want to bring into this matchup, right? An Amorous Therian I think was pretty easy to eliminate from this week because, first of all, it takes a lot of super effective damage here. I'm going up against Bundle, I'm going up against Abomasnow, I'm going up against King Gambit, and I can't really one-shot a lot of those things because they're going to be fairly bulky. A Bundle, of course, I can one-shot if I go for, like, you know, just strong fairy type damage, but Abomasnow and Gambit are going to be pretty bulky. I just don't want to commit my Terra to an Amorous because I don't think it has the ability to just, like, win the game very quickly for me, and he also has resistances to fairy in that Arcanine in particular, right? So I don't know, I think like Assault Vest King Gambit is certainly a likely set to come out this week. Arcanine's something that I think could come out this week as well, and so I just think an Amorous doesn't really have enough power plus defensive potential to get me through the week. Like, it does have offense, but it just takes too much damage from a lot of his common picks, and I'd be shocked if he didn't bring Gambit, Bundle, or Abomasnow. Like, those all feel like, you know, pretty obvious picks in my eyes, and I think an Amorous having a bad matchup into all three of those just means that we probably don't want to bring it, right? So then the kind of remaining decision is, okay, now I have to pick between, for example, do I want Vivillon in this matchup, right? I don't love Vivillon here because it is just kind of bait to getting like doubled up into. And that actually happened last week against Kyle, where I led Vivillon Ursaluna, and then he just doubled up on Vivillon with two Pokemon that were faster than it while I protected Ursaluna, and I just lost a Pokemon immediately. And in this matchup, he's got a lot of Pokemon that are fast, right? Bundle, for example, being a really big one. You can obviously have Prio on things like Palafin as well as Arcanine with Extreme Speed or Jet Punch, for example. Although then Raichu plus Bundle is really scary. Vivillon's not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon either, and it takes a lot of super effective damage. He, of course, could have abilities here that help out around the Sleep Powder or a Safety Goggles, for example. So, yeah, I think the thing with Vivillon is, you know, part of the reason I drafted it is because I think it's a really effective Tailwind user. I don't really want to set up Tailwind in this matchup, and I think that Vivillon can go down pretty easily to double ups, so it made then the decision to cut it pretty easily as well. So that meant that I have Cresselia, Ursaluna, Grimmsnarl, Spectrier, Wo-Chien, and Tauros to work with, right? So now, after deciding the 6, it's about coming up with sets that I think can be good this week. I don't know what Moxie is going to bring, right? I think, like I said, Gambit, Bundle, Abomasnow feel like pretty guaranteed brings. I think Arcanine is really strong for him here because I think it slows down some of my damage. It's good against like Wo-Chien, it's good against Ursaluna. Like I would not be super stoked to see it, although Tauros obviously can do decent into it as Ursaluna. But I think Arcanine can actually be fairly annoying for me. Palafin, I think, is a Pokemon that I just always want to show respect to, although I think we have a ton of good Palafin counterplay here between Paldean and Tauros as well as Wo-Chien. And then, yeah, so like, I think it's like Abomasnow, Gambit, Bundle. Those three I really want answers to. And I just want to make sure I can beat every Pokemon here. I don't know what the other Pokemon he's going to bring in this matchup are going to be. So let's start off with Grimmsnarl and Spectrier because that's the duo that I've been playing the most in this league so far. And so far in the first 2 weeks, I've just gone with Nasty Plot, Draining Kiss, Spectrier. I don't think that's a good set this week because of a couple of different reasons. First of all, King Gambit, huge problem for us, right? Assault Vest King Gambit can easily take a Shadow Ball or a Draining Kiss, and it can just Iron Head me if I Fairy Tear, and if I don't Fairy Tear, it can just threaten me with, for example, Kowtow Cleave or Sucker Punch, right? So I think a setup Spectrier makes not as much sense this week, specifically because he's got King Gambit. I actually think if King Gambit weren't on the opposing side, it would be an incredible pick in this week, but King Gambit alone, which I think is going to be a high priority pick for him, makes me not want to go with that kind of standard set, right? And so I actually brainstormed Fighting Terra, Hex, Draining Kiss, Terra Blast, Spectrier. The idea behind this is Hex is actually pretty powerful even if things aren't affected by status, and if they are affected by status, it gives me the extra damage that I need to get one-hit knockouts. Thunder Wave into Hex will allow me to secure one-hit knockouts onto most of Moxie's team if he's not Assault Vested or doesn't have a defensive Terra, and I think that's really good. Fighting Terra plus Terra Blast is obviously really good for King Gambit, but it's also good for things like Bundle and Abomasnow. It's just pretty consistent. And then I want Draining Kiss for the Como as well. I think one thing to note in this week's matchup is that Como could be bulletproof, for example, making it actually immune to Shadow Ball, and that's one of the primary reasons I don't want to be running Shadow Ball this week either, because I don't want to just be walled by a Como and have it potentially set up in front of me. So with all of those considerations, I basically landed on this Spectre set, and as a result, I figured, okay, I'm not going to go with the classic dual screen Grimmsnarl, and it allows me to lean into a little bit more creativity here. I'm actually going for Adamant Max Attack, which might seem kind of crazy, but I did a damage calc, and basically against max HP King Gambit, Low Kick is almost guaranteed to get a one-hit knockout, and if I have Fake Out chip damage, it should be able to secure the knockout. So the idea is, I think because King Gambit's going to be such a high priority pick this week, having Low Kick to cover for that King Gambit's going to be really, really good. As you can see, I actually have a ton of anti-King Gambit stuff, right? The Fighting Terra, Terra Blast on Spectre, Low Kick on Grimmsnarl, Earthquake on Ursaluna, Close Combat and Tauros. We even have like Fire Terra Blast, right, on the Wo-Chien as well. And so I'm like, look, I think this Pokemon's going to come out in this matchup. One of the downsides of drafting a Pokemon that is 4x weak to a typing means that you often feel forced to Terra it. If I can get King Gambit to Terra, it means nothing else can Terra. That's also a win for me. But the idea behind Grimmsnarl here is I've got the Thunder Wave plus Hex combination. Fake Out, I think, is a move that I haven't been using on Grimmsnarl yet, but is absolutely incredible because it allows me to potentially get a knockout onto Sash Bundle, right? Imagine he leads Bundle plus Abomasnow. I can Fake Out Bundle Hex, and that'll just KO, since Bundle, even though Hex is not increasing in damage, like Bundle's special defense is just so poor. So for Bundle to survive the Life Orb Hex, it needs to be fairly bulky, and if it's fairly bulky, then it means that it shouldn't be as fast or deal as much damage, which is good for us as well. So yeah, Thunder Wave, Low Kick, I already kind of explained. And then I've got the Babiri Berry here just because I could see him running speed on King Gambit, and I don't actually feel the need for another item. I'm using one screen here in Light Screen. You also might be wondering why Light Screen instead of Reflect, but the theory here is that I've got Wo-Chien on the team already, and with Light Screen, I can have pretty good answers and multiple different lead combos into Abomasnow plus Bundle. Actually, crazily enough, Grimmsnarl plus Wo-Chien is a viable lead into that because I've got Fire Tear and Giga Drain. So what I can do is Light Screen turn 1, take an Ice-type attack, Giga Drain to just KO Bundle and heal all the way back up, and then Fire Terra to deal with the Abomasnow. So yeah, I wanted Light Screen even though he's got a lot of physical attackers because I think Bundle plus Abomasnow is just such a big lead combo to respect. Rounding out the team, we've got Cresselia plus Ursaluna, and the Pokemon here are pretty standard, but we've got some unique sets. Cresselia here has Colbur Berry, which allows me to survive, for example, Assurance from King Gambit. So I can't, just feint to something like Icy Wind plus Assurance onto Cresselia, which I think is certainly a viable combo. And then I'm going for Swords Dance Ice Terra Ursaluna this week because I think Abomasnow is very likely going to come out in the matchup. So if he sets up the snow for me, then that's just great, right? Because then Ice Terra means that I've got a defensive Terra to deal with your Ice Spam from Abomasnow and the Iron Bundle. And it also means that your physical damage from Pokemon like King Gambit and Arcanine start doing less damage to me as well. So I was initially going to run Water Terra, but then I figured I think Ice Terra actually makes a lot of sense this week, and it's specifically because he's got Abomasnow plus Bundle, but to resist that combo and be able to get the increased defense buff from Snow, I think is awesome. So the theory behind this is I can lead Cresselia Ursaluna and just Swords Dance Trick Room turn 1, and a lot of times people, of course, expect Ursaluna to protect on the first turn. That's what happened when I played against Kyle in Game 2 of last week, and it was fairly predictable, and I kind of just started off behind in that game, and so I think this set makes a lot of sense this week. Rounding things out, we've got the Paldean Tauros with Mirror Herb here. The idea behind this is it's really solid into King Gambit. I can, activate your Defiant, get an attack boost, and start dealing a lot of damage. I want that Aqua Jet just because I think it's likely he'll have a Focus Sash somewhere on the team, whether it be Bundle or the Abomasnow, or Alolan Raichu even, so having Aqua Jet just to finish those off I think is valuable. Thought a little bit about other moves like Zen Headbutt, for example, but I think having the priority is always just good. And then the final Pokemon is Wo-Chien. We're up against Moxie. I was like, look, I just, no matter what, I'm going to bring Wo-Chien into this week. And I was brainstorming a lot of things, and I landed on Assault Vest Wo-Chien. It might seem kind of crazy, but I think it actually makes a ton of sense because, first of all, Moxie's got a fair number of physical attackers, right? So Tablets of Rune, obviously good against those. But with Wo-Chien and a Modest Nature like max special attack, this thing can actually do a lot of damage. I've got, Giga Drain for the Iron Bundle and Palafin. I've got Dark Pulse for Petrarunt. I've got Fire Terror Blast for Abomasnow, and I've got Runation to just get guaranteed damage and chip things like Arcanine or Comfey. And so, first of all, I think this is just a completely crazy set. It's not something I would ever expect Moxie to expect, and I think that even if you knew this set, I actually think it's still pretty solid here, right? Because on paper, Abomasnow plus Bundle should absolutely destroy Wo-Chien, but when you combine it with Fake Out, plus Thunder Wave, plus Light Screen from the Grimmsnarl, and Giga Drain for healing, and Fire Terra to deal with the Abomasnow, suddenly it can really, really turn the tables. And, we're playing in the closed team sheet environment here. Obviously, we know each other's Terras, but we don't know each other's moves and items. And I think, I have so many surprises this week that I think even one of them can just single-handedly win me a game, right? I'm also not making these sets just for the sake of surprises. I actually think they're just really strong here. And even if this was open team sheet, I actually still feel like this team would feel very consistent into what Moxie has. I feel pretty good about my prep this week. I feel like I've covered most bases. So obviously, with Draft League, you never know exactly what your opponent is going to bring. The main thing here is I don't feel like I'm indexing too heavily on beating any one specific Pokemon or strategy. I'm covering for the Pokemon that I expect the most to see, or expect to see the most, but I think generally I have really strong offense, right? Like Ursaluna under Trick Room, Spectre with Life Orb, no matter what we're up against, we'll always, I think, have a chance to win because these Pokemon just do so much damage and there's proper support around them as well. So, yeah. I'm really happy with the team that I came up this week. So win or lose, I think, I'm proud of the team building process, and I'm glad to have been able to have a little bit more time to kind of come up with this week. So we'll see how relevant these sets end up being. But yeah, that was kind of how I theoried this team for the week. Okay, so Moxie has Bundo, Abomasnow, Gambit. Those three I expected. I actually didn't think he would go with the Sentret, the Comfey, or the Komo. So those are all pretty cool to see. I think we have a bunch of different modes I can go with here. One being Grimmsnarl Spectrier, and then another being Cresselia Ursaluna. I also thought about Grim Wo-Chien to actually deal with the Abomasnow bundle, because I could Fire Terra, Giga Drain, Light Screen. But yeah, my internet disconnected actually right as before turn 1 started, and so I had selected Grimmsnarl Spectrier as my lead when we were about to play game 1, so I'm going to go with that again. And then I had decided to go with the Wo-Chien and the Tauros in the back. So, yep, let's lock this in and see how things play out. I think the main thing here is what item is the bundle and how bulky is it? I have Fighting Terra Blast, which is really good into Abomasnow, really good into Bundo. My game plan coming into this week was to just use Spectrier and crush with it. So it's going to be Bundo, Abomasnow lead. And there's no booster here on Bundo, so that means that it could be Sashed. Sash was my guess on the item choice. And so far in this league, I've gone mainly with Nasty Plot Spectrier. So I think if you're Marcos, you probably should be respecting that. If you protect in front of me and let me Nasty Plot's really bad. I could Light Screen here immediately. But I think the play I kind of want to go for is actually Fake Out into Bundle and Hex into it. This should KO unless they're super bulky. And it's going to be a Terra immediately. Okay. Terra on the bundle. Okay. So my question is, are you Covert Cloak if you're going for this? Otherwise, this should be a really solid trade for us. Take out into Labundo. Oh, it's slower than us as well. Okay. But it's bulky. That's good to know. Wait, what? What is Bundo going for? Roar? It's bulky Bundle. What? Why is it slower than the Abomasnow? Huh. Wait, what could it possibly be going for? Unless it's Scarf Abomasnow's slower bundle? I have to admit, I'm slightly confused right now. But that's okay. I think I'm just gonna Thunder Wave bundle here. And Draining Kiss. Yeah, Obama switches, that's fine. Into Como. Would have been cool to Draining Kiss that slot, but... Okay, double switch. Gambit. Okay. we're so chilling here. Because now, I'm just really confused on what bundle was going for there. Like, how can it be slower than Abomasnow? It's the main thing I'm confused about. I don't know. But this is fine. I now have just so much KO pressure, because I think I can just go for low kick, Terra to get around Sucker Punch, and Draining Kiss. I still have no idea what bundle was going for there, though. It's obviously bulky. Like, in order to survive that Hex, Hex is obviously weaker than Shadow Ball, but I went for Hex because I figured I could combo with Thunder Wave. But yeah, I think, like, you know, Moxie clearly was expecting me to play a screen-centric game, and I knew, like, he would have counterplay to screens with, like, Psychic Fangs from Arcanine, which I didn't see him run in a previous week, as well as, I guess, Brick Break from Abomasnow. But yeah, I guess the Terra bundles what confuses me. Oh, if you're Terra Icing there, I feel like you're just clicking Blizzard is the thing, right? But if I'm just faster with Spectre, that's so good for us in this matchup. Okay. Oh, Como actually survives the Draining Kiss. That's pretty impressive. 4X super effective still survives. Body press into us. But I have low kick. Yep. And that's why I ran low kick this week. So my sets are cooking right now, and I'm very happy about that. But pretty impressive bulk, because this Spectre is basically like max special attack. So 2 pretty impressive survivals here. Como, of course, is one of the reasons why I wanted to not run the Shadow Ball this week. So I've got Wo-Chan and Tauros in the back. Can pretty easily set up a light screen right now. I could Thunder Wave Hex into Abomasnow as well. Spectre should just outpace everything. We want to respect this clicking iron defense. Like, the only explanation I can think of is just Scarf Abomasnow and really slow Bundle. It just seems so crazy to me still. What do I want to do here? Blizzard Threat is obviously scary. I think here, honestly, I'm down to Light Screen and Protect this turn to bait out a Protect from his side. Because I don't think he's going to low kick again. Ideally, Como just protects here. No Protect, though. Okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure this is Scarf Abomasnow. Okay, he goes for Iron Defense. That's cool. I do have to be careful about Como, like, slowly protecting and getting itself back into this game. Does Blizzard KO Spectrier? That's the thing I need to calc right now. Because if not, then I can always just target the Spectrier slot here. So, Abomasnow, let's say you're Modest Max into Spectrier with Light Screen up. I basically have no bulk, though. Blizzard does 58. Yeah, I'll survive. Okay, cool. So I'll just T-Wave Abomasnow then. Draining Kiss, Como. Nice. Thunder Wave connects. Como doesn't protect either, which is great. Snow is about to expire, so we should be great. But I'm really glad my offensive Life Orb Spectre set worked here. I mainly just said I missed out on 2 knockouts, both on Bundle and on Como. Like, how much bulk does Como need to survive this Draining Kiss? If we're Modest Max, basically, Modest, and I have Life Orb. Grim gets frozen, but that's fine. This Como needs to be, like, super, super, super bulky. It might be max HP, max Spadef, honestly, or something close to that. Bundle comes out. I've already revealed Hex. One thing to remember, though, in this league is that you do actually want to, like, preserve knockouts. Is there any way I could lose this game? I still have Tauros waiting in the back. And I've got my Assault Vest Wo-Chan as well, although I don't want to reveal the item on that. Ideally, we don't bring Wo-Chan out in this game. Yeah, I think I can just Hex here. Into Abomasnow. Okay, Grim stays frozen. Here's the Hex. Nice. One shot to Abomasnow. I still have Light Screen up here, so I just don't think I'm really at much risk. But I feel like my sets worked out perfectly in this game, so I'm happy. I might lose both Mons here, though. Bundle does double connect Blizzard, but it's fine. I've got... It's mainly just, like, because the win differential actually matters. So if, if this were a traditional VGC match, I guess I'm still playing it like a traditional VGC match, but yeah. I think Moxie probably doesn't bring King Gambit into game 2. That's my guess. And he also obviously tried to go all in on stopping like potential screens, and part of why I wanted to draft, and part of the reason why I played the way I did in the first 2 weeks was to try to bait my opponents into thinking that's the only way I'm gonna play. When, yeah, not the case. Yeah. Oh, Tablets of Rune does actually decrease my own Aqua Jet, huh? Ruination is the one attack that's not a surprise here. I guess I could lose this if Aqua Jet doesn't KO this, because I'm decreasing my own attack. So, I'll just reveal the Giga Drain here. I think it's fine. But I'm not sure his Freeze Dry even KOs me. He just goes for Blizzard again, okay. Slow Bundle is really good news for us, in my opinion. Because it means, yeah, Spectre outspeeding it is just huge. He has a lot of bulk, though. So, Bundle... Freeze... or Blizzard into my Wo-Chien spread. Light Screen was up. You Ice Terra'd. I just don't know what the item on this is. But, yeah. I'm very happy Spectre is faster, though. So... it means that I can just KO Bundle. Like, the Hex strat didn't work, but I can just Fighting Terra Blast next time. It's gotta be Scarf Abomasnow and, like, really slow Bundle then, right? What does Abomasnow reach with Scarf? 184? Yeah, so slow Bundle then would make sense. Super interesting. Okay. So let's see, I have a lot of other tricks here as well. Like I said, my guess is Moxie now should not lean into... should also be very specially defensive Como, which means physical damage is good into him. He might Flying Terra King Gambit, like that's the adjustment you could make here. I think Flying Terra Gambit's actually the set I'm probably most worried about, but I do have the Babiri Berry on Grim. I have Colbur Berry on Cress. Part of me wants to try Cressaluna here. What Terra is the Como again? Because I think that's actually a big part of this equation. Como's, Ghost. Which means Spectrier can just Hex it, which is good. How does he adjust to Grim Spectrier? I wonder if it's like setup. Sentret plus Gambit would be interesting. Sentret Gambit would very, very much be interesting, yeah. I kind of want to try Cresselia or Ursaluna, Spectrier. And I'm bringing Wo-Chan just because I want to use Wo-Chan against Moxie. I think it's just funny. Is it the best Pokemon here? Maybe not, but gotta do it for the memes. Game 1 was really good, but this is a best out of 3, so I've revealed, obviously, a good number of my tricks. But I haven't revealed the Cresselia or Ursaluna here, and I think they can be really interesting. I just don't think he runs it back with Abomasnow Bundle. And actually, the theory behind Cressaluna was for Abomasnow Bundle. Abomasnow Gambit. Okay, it's fine by me. This is exactly actually why I have Colbur Berry. So, yeah, my plan here is actually to go Ice Terra with Ursaluna. Trick Room. Terra Ice, Swords Dance. I think this is pretty strong. With Colbur Berry on Cress, even if you're Assurance, it's okay. So I'm down for this. Okay, Terra on his end. Makes sense to go Terra Flying Gambit. Yep, that was the adjustment we were talking about. That's fine. Now Facade can just start destroying things under Trick Room. And it also, like, I mean, Wo-Chan will decrease my N1 attack, but it also will decrease his attack, and I think that's valuable. And with Ice Terra here, I actually take advantage of this snow. So, let's see if we get the Trick Room up. Okay, Aurora Veil goes up. Scarf Aurora Veil, maybe? Swords Dance? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now we're cooking. But I'll match his Swords Dance with my Swords Dance. And we get Trick Room up. I think the main play for him to make here would be... Well, first of all, let's do King Gambit damage calcs. Oh! Room Service King Gambit. That is sick. Okay. So King Gambit into Ursaluna. Do I ever just reverse Trick Room here? Also, like, I can bring out my Spectria, right? I'm ice typing, so I actually take reduced damage from your attacks. So King Gambit, like, let's say you Iron Head into me. +2. Ursaluna. Ice Terra. That is going to be a knockout. Tablets of Ruin. Still not a great roll. I could just reverse Trick Room, honestly. Yeah, Abomasnow switching here is obvious. Sentra would actually be the fire switch in here. But it's going to be comfy. Okay. Yeah, and I think I can make this play because I have the Colbur Berry. Wow, he actually just attacked into Crest. Okay, so I could have won the game if I just targeted Gambit there, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't even take half from that. Okay. I think now we have some mind games. Yeah, let me calc my Facade into him. Because actually, I'm not sure I KO, which is actually really wild to think about. Facade into King Gambit. He's probably easy to survive, but I do have Helping Hand as well. So the question here is, do I want to go for the Helping Hand play? Like just Helping Hand Facade? I'm down. It'd be so funny if he was still faster somehow. Okay. Let's just Sucker Punch. That's fine. I took, yeah, like no damage from that. Nice. Ice Terra worked. Let's go. I'm so happy about it. I changed from Water Terra to Ice pretty last second, but this should KO, I think. Let's go. Nice. Comfy does get a Tauntaun to us, but that's okay. I think Ursa's still in a pretty good spot. You can't really do damage with the Comfy, which is the main thing, which is good for us as well. Bundle comes out. Okay, obviously that can Hydro Pump us. It could Encore as well. 2 turns of Snow left, so if we get a knockout, obviously, that would be really good. I mean, late game Spectre is looking pretty solid now. I'm actually down to just go Psychic into Bundle and put it in KO range of Hex. Probably better to Facade. He's already Terra'd here. I'm guessing, by the way, like, Gambit just didn't have Protect if you went for Sucker Punch there. Because you have Sucker, Kowtow, maybe Ironhead Protect. But yeah, I'm a Psychic into Bundle. It's probably a Hydro Pump into Ursaluna. But even if you KO Ursaluna, then Spectra comes out for free, right? So it's fine. We just double up in a Bundle here. Okay, Hydro connects, that's fine. Does manage to get the knockout onto us, but now I get the chip damage that I need for you to get KO'd by Spectrier. And if you set up Trick Room, I just bring Wo-Chan out under Trick Room. But just Drain Kiss. Wait, is this not Triage Comfy? What set is it? Spadeptroff, okay. Bring out Spectrier. Natural Cure, Flower Veil. Oh, actually, I did forget about Aurora Veil being up. That Aurora Veil may, like, that special defense drop actually may benefit me then, right? Because now I probably KO. 2 turns of Taunt. This game isn't over yet, so I still have to be a little bit careful. But because I got that Spadef drop, I feel like I should be able to just knock out the Bundle here. Yeah, I'll Hex Psychic here. Okay, Bundle switches, which makes sense. Maybe he sets up Trick Room now. Not that damage there. Okay, just Draining Kiss. But the way he sequenced that now means that your Snow ends, which is really awkward, right? Yeah. And Aurora Veil wears off. So I think it means I can just Lunar... Oh, I'm still taunted. Never mind. Just kidding. Jokes. I think I can just Hex here and Psychic, right? Yep. I really want to use Wo-Chan to win this game. That would be the funniest thing in the world. Psychic comes out. Trick Room gets set up. Okay, well now I can utilize Wo-Chan under Trick Room, so that's fine with me. Taunt wears off. His play is to taunt my Cresselia now. And Hydro Pump into Spectrier. I think I could just switch Spectrier out into Wo-Chan right now, honestly. Psychic into you, switch out into Wo-Chan. I might just Lunar Blessing here. Psychic can actually slowly KO Bundle, though, so I think it's worth it. Every tech has come up huge for us so far, though. The Colbur Berry, the Ice Terra, so I'm very happy about all of that. Good damage. It is Draining Kiss into that slot. Okay, nice play. That's fine. No freeze, please. Oh, no way. Ugh. Blizzard double connect into freeze. I mean, I could have just stayed in with Spectre there. I could have clicked Protect Lunar Blessing. So he did make the better play there that turn. But I've got the Giga Drain here. Okay, I think we're still fine. I was mainly worried if Bundle could have protected in that position, but yeah, I think Comfy just can't handle this, I'm pretty sure. And you don't do enough damage to Spectrier. But that really gave me a heart attack. Oh, and he went for Floral Healing. Okay, nice. These sets were crazy, though. I really, really want to know what he was cooking in the Psychic here. Actually, we should switch here and conserve for differential ruination. But, oh my gosh, Bundle almost pulled it back. I really want to know what moveset it was and, like, what the Abomasnow set was as well. Like, I think he obviously had a very specific plan into my Grim Spectrier combo. Draining Kiss, 85 to 55, only does 30. Cool. I just want to win the game with Wo-Chien. It would feel so poetic. Last turn of Trick Room. Nah, I'm gonna just Hex here and Giga Drain. I actually did pretty good damage, honestly. But I'm like glad that the theorying I put into the team really came into, everything was relevant here. From Spectrier having this like super offensive moveset, to him obviously trying to counter my screens potential play, to like not having the classic light play dual screens combo. Low kick on King Gambit was huge. Draining Kiss on Spectrier, even though we're not Fairy Terra, was huge. Wo-Chien ended up being a pretty good bring, and then Ice Terra plus the Colbur Berry all relevant as well. So yeah, this was a week that I definitely put in more preparation for. Like, I feel like the first 2 weeks I like was just getting used to draft again, and then the game against Joey was so close, and then last week against Kyle, like I feel like it was kind of a wake-up call, because even though I ended up winning, like I felt like my preparation was just like really average, because I kind of brought the same stuff that I did from week 1, and then like was just playing really, really predictably in game 2 when I had it. And so yeah, I knew that like Marcos is obviously a VGC player as well, and so yeah, I wanted to put my team building skills to the test here, and I think it really paid off heavily. So really happy about the week, and happy that everything kind of got to shine. So yeah, GG's to Moxie here, and we are now 2-1 in the league after starting 0-1. So pretty happy about nabbing back-to-back wins in the last 2 weeks, 2-0. But yeah, we've got 8 weeks in the regular season, 5 more to go. So, but this was really fun, and I'm glad to feature some brand new sets here that really paid off heavily. Well, I'm really happy about how things went overall. I think my play could have been a little bit cleaner in both games, but overall, I think the preparation process paid off really heavily, where most of the unique sets that I came up with did end up being super relevant, whether it be Thunderwave plus Hex, for example, the Ice Terra on the Ursaluna, the Colbur Berry on the Cresselia, as well as the Spectre just being more offensive rather than going for the classic screens plus nasty plot setup. And the Abomasnow bundle, indeed, of course, was Choice Scarf Abomasnow. And so the idea that Moxie had come up with was to break screens and then just try to knock me out with Iron Bundle. I'm very, very glad that I did not end up falling for that, and I'm glad that I ended up deviating to a different Spectre set this week, and I think there's still a lot of interesting things that we can do with the Pokemon that we've drafted. And of course, I'm really happy because I got to bring Wo-Chien out, and that was my main goal coming into this week. And so definitely feel like I learned a lot about team building this week, learned a lot about different modes of my team as well, and I'm excited to keep developing it as time goes on. We now move on to 2 wins and 1 loss. It's an 8-week regular season, so I think 4 wins guarantees you the playoffs. But if you're in the top 4 spots out of the top 12 teams, then you actually get a bye in the first round of playoffs, which I think would be quite nice as well. And so I'm just going to keep doing my best to keep improving in this league, learn more, figure out new ways to utilize the Pokemon, and come up with fun strategies. But thank you so much for supporting myself, for supporting the channel and the team, and I will see you all next week for week 4.